Welcome back to the King's Corner, the place for all things Bethesda. I am the KingFanMan, and this is the KingCast, the best podcast on all things Bethesda, where we go over the weekly news on all things Bethesda and Bethesda Game Studios, and we may cover some just general gaming as well. So, welcome into the KingCast. As always, we will cover your questions and comments, of course, because this is a subscriber driven podcast. I cannot believe it's already been a week since we've done the KingCast. Man, this week flew by. I guess I've been busy. We've got a lot to cover, so really I'm going to jump right in. We're going to cover some trademarks from Bethesda. There's a lot of trademark news that's out there. Going to go over a little bit of what I covered last week because I didn't have some information that y'all had asked me on one of the games from Tango Gameworks, and then a little bit more on Wormwood we're going to talk about. But then there's also a new trademark, or at least an old trademark that Bethesda has renewed again. So we're going to talk about that. A little bit of Starfield news. I always like to throw a little bit of Starfield news in there. And then, of course, a whole lot of Fallout 76 news and the discussion that I want everybody to get in on today. We're going to talk about Mr. Homer from the new not Homer Simpson, Mr. Homer from the new Invaders from Beyond. And by the way, if you're not following me on Twitter, please do so and go over and take the quiz real quick. It's one question. All you got to do is answer who or what is Homer from the new Invaders from Beyond. And we're going to talk about that. Is he an alien? Is he AI? Is he a synth? Or is he a human? Or is he something else? We're going to talk about that and get to the bottom of it today on the KingCast. So welcome in Timmer, welcome in Allison, Trey, and Kane and Dane. Kane and Dane, we need some more that rhyme. How's it going, everybody? Good to see y'all. Again, I cannot believe this is Saturday. I absolutely love Saturday where I get to hang out with y'all. Hey, Justin, hadn't seen you in a while. Good to see you. Good to see you. Let's start right off. Again, I want to thank y'all so much for all the prayers that y'all sent out to my mom and me. Please continue them. Again, I'm probably going to be here for a while. Y'all continue to pray for my mom. And right along with that, you've probably heard by now that Miss Shirley, the lady that is famous for having the YouTube channel that plays Skyrim, she had a stroke. Now she's doing well. In fact, she did a video and put it out today. But the sad news is she's forgotten a lot. The stroke made her forget how to play Skyrim. So bless her heart, she needs our prayers. So it was a pretty hard stroke on her. So please, I'm asking for your prayers for her and for my mom during this time. And I'm sure you have others, but those are the two I ask you to just add to your prayer list, if you would, please, right here at the first. I also want to thank you as always for your support. Remember, down in the links to this video are down in the description of this video are all my links, my Twitter, and all the other ones you can find, our Discord channel, my Patreon channel, and if you cannot be a monthly Patreon but you want to give support, another good way is you can send me a coffee. That link's down there below. If you don't want to do that and you want to get something for your money, then there is the KingFanMan store. It's down there too. And I've got to get on there soon. Y'all be looking for it. I'm about to design a couple of new shirts. I just got a couple of new logos that I'm about to put on shirts, KingFanMan logos. So y'all be looking for that as well. All right. All that said, that was all housekeeping. Now let's get into the Bethesda talking. Hey, David, what's going on? No, you didn't miss it at all. Okay. Jump into the Bethesda trademark that Bethesda just re-upped. And this is a older trademark. You may have heard from it. You may not have. I reported on it a long time ago. It is a trademark called Spy Team. And there are some possibilities of what it may be. We don't know what it is exactly. We know it's ZeniMax Bethesda game. We don't know if it's a Bethesda Game Studios or Bethesda Softworks game, but it is a Bethesda game. Hey, Cirque. But they just re-upped it. If you look on the trademark itself, it is for mobile gaming and PC and console gaming. So it can be either or both. So it can be a big name. But now this is going to be like, this is not like Wormwood. Wormwood, the way we've been talking about the last 2 weeks, Wormwood is a code name, okay? Spy Team is actually a trademarked name. This is going to be like Redfall. You know, we've been hearing Redfall trademarked for goodness, a couple of, well, at least a year and a half, Redfall. And we were thinking it was going to be the next Elder Scrolls game, but it's not. Redfall is coming, of course, this fall, this September, and it's going to be that vampire game coming. But anyway, Spy Team, a couple of possibilities that this may be. And if you want to watch a little bit more in-depth video about this, Scholesy put out a pretty good video this week. You can listen to his video. But a couple of studios that's a pretty good possibility for doing this game. One is Roundhouse Studios, which was a recent purchase of Bethesda. In fact, they purchased it, I believe. Timmer, help me out. I believe they purchased it right before the acquisition of Microsoft. I'm doing this right off the top of my head. Anyway, but this game is believed to probably be a more MMO type game. We don't know that, but that's what we're thinking this probably is. So Roundhouse Studios is possibly one. And then Bethesda, listen to this, Bethesda Game Studios, y'all hold on. Bethesda Game Studios Austin is actually another studios that is very, very heavily rumored that might be working on Spy Team, because Bethesda Game Studios Austin was working on Battle Cry when they were acquired by Bethesda. And some believe this Spy Team may be an adaptation of that Battle Cry game. Again, so those are two studios, the Roundhouse Studios, BGS Austin, and it may be a combination of the two. That may be why we may have seen a downtick. I'm just throwing this out here, okay? That may be why we've seen a downtick in some of the content with Fallout 76. Maybe some of the employees are working on a new game, another game, because we have heard a rumor about BGS Austin working on a new game. Now, is it Spy Team or is it something else? We don't know. Let me get y'all's questions real quick. Let's see. Justin says, vampire game. What is the vampire game? Okay, vampire. Let me tell y'all about Redfall real quick, just to remind y'all. Redfall, I believe, is, help me out, Timmer, I believe it's Arcane Studios, right off the top of my head. Arcane Studios is putting it out. I believe they're talking about releasing it late summer, early fall. I think September is the date they've got as the release date. Yeah, it's Arcane Austin. And it's you've got a choice of, and the trailer's out, David. You can actually go and look up the trailer and watch the trailer. You've got a choice of like 6 characters that you can pick with 6 different abilities. It's kind of cool looking, kind of cartoony, but I'm definitely going to give it a shot. But with all that said, it's kind of neat that BGS Austin may be working, or is probably working on a new game. So again, this may be why Fallout 76 content is hurting. They may be working on another game right now parallel with Fallout 76. It could be this Spy Team, or it could be another one entirely. And if it's another one entirely, who knows what it may be? Maybe it's Wormwood. Maybe it's something like that. Anyway, so remember that one. Also, again, Wormwood is out there. There's a lot of trademarks floating around. We've still got y'all remember the old giant monster news. I mean, there's a lot of them out there that we don't know about. Now, y'all asked me last week about Dice Hero or Hero Dice, and I didn't know much about it. I looked into it a little bit more. I did tell you that it was a Tango Gameworks game that is only going to be offered in Japan, and that's why I didn't look into it anymore. I didn't want to take up too much time on it. But what it is It is basically a dice and card game. So it's almost like you remember the Elder Scrolls card game. It's almost like that, but it's got dice in it too. But again, it's a very Japanese. It's got the Japanese type characters in it, and you've got like a board that you move with the dice and the cards. So it's it looks interesting if you're into that kind of stuff. But again, it's only going to be released in Japan. So that's one, two, three, four, five. That's five, maybe six new games right there in the works that they have not. Well, two of them they've announced, but so four games that they have not announced right there that we just talked about. So that is pretty amazing right there. And if you don't know about Wormwood, I just mentioned Wormwood. We've talked about it the last 2 weeks, so I'm not going to bring it up again. Today, go back and watch the last KingCast, or ask me at the end of the podcast, and I will give you that. Starfield, a couple of things on Starfield, and I'm sure this is not new news, but I just want to throw it out there. I kind of like to keep Starfield in the um, news on the KingCast. Todd Howard reported that Starfield is supposed to have over 150 lines. This is over 150,000 lines of dialogue, which is the most by far of any Bethesda Game Studios game yet. It's also supposed to take up more room on your computer or console than any other Bethesda Game Studios game yet. So I'm still I still know I need to get a new computer before I play Starfield. But so this is going to be the biggest game yet. And of course, Phil Spencer said he wants it to be the biggest and most played game yet. Both Todd Howard and Phil Spencer are both talking about Starfield that way. So they're putting their money where their mouth is. And I wonder, I actually made a video about this almost a year ago now, but back in the fall anyway. I wonder if, as closely as Bethesda works with Xbox, I wonder if the Xbox X actually, the size of the Xbox X actually was influenced any by Starfield. And I say that because Bethesda games in the past have actually influenced the size of Xbox consoles. I believe it was, and again, I'm doing this off the top of my head, but I believe it was Oblivion that Bethesda actually sent Oblivion to Xbox and said, listen, we're either going to have to cut this game down or you're going to have to make your Xbox bigger. And Bethesda said, hey, we'll make the Xbox bigger. So, and I've got that interview. And again, you can look for that video back in my catalog. So that's pretty cool that Bethesda has that much sway over Xbox. So I wonder if Starfield actually had an influence over how big the Xbox X was going to be. That's kind of neat. All right, Fallout 76 news going on right now, of course, is the Invaders from Beyond. Hey, Rick Games, now you need to be here. You're going to have to defend your position. We're going to talk about Homer in just a minute. Hey, Century 22, what's going on? I can't wait to talk about Homer. I'm trying to get through some of the news so we can talk about Homer in just a minute. I cannot wait. Yes, more space on your computer. Oh no, absolutely. Invaders from Beyond goes through the 15th. Also going on right now is Double Mutations. That goes on through the 14th. Also, remember, next weekend in Fallout 76 is Double Score Weekend. That is the 17th through the 21st. So that's pretty cool. Also, next week, hey, Lady Braven, good to see you again. Thank you for coming. Next weekend, next week, the PTS, if you are on Steam or the Bethesda launcher, you can go into the PTS, download the PTS, update the PTS, and you will be able to play Test Your Metal, Eviction Notice, and Moonshine Jamboree. That is three brand new events that are coming to Fallout 76, and they're going to be coming in, I believe, the July update. Test Your Metal, I did a video on that one too. That location is already in Fallout 76. It is in the Savage Divide. It is by Monongahela. Help me out. It's just, I mean, it's right there at Monongahela. There was a unmarked location there, and it is there at the unmarked location. There was a big, huge tower there in railroad track, and now they've built that big coliseum there. So just look on your map, find Monongah and the Monongah mine, and you'll find the metal dome. And if you've never gone and checked it out, it's a pretty cool location. But that is where Test Your Metal is. You can get and earn a new set of armor called Botsmith armor. Also, and this is kind of cool. I didn't know this till I looked into it, but the eviction notice, and I believe that Keto was telling me this, the Keto Chef was telling me this, the eviction notice is actually going to be a settler themed deal, and you're going to be evicting super mutants out of a thing that's close to Foundation, and you get settler rep. So if you haven't yet finished the Wastelander stuff, getting all your reputation there, eviction notice is going to help you with your settler rep. So that's really good and cool. Of course, there's special prizes through that as well. And then Moonshine Jamboree is a raider thing that you're going to battle gulpers, and you'll get raider rep for Moonshine Jamboree. And you can also earn a new weapon called the Gulper Smacker. Now, that I like. That sounds like an Arkansas weapon, the Gulper Smacker. Follow the train tracks from the train station. That's exactly what you do, Dale. What train station is that? That's right below the ski lodge there. What train station is that called? But if you just go south down the train tracks, you'll actually run into the Metal Dome. And Kane, you're right too, just north of Fort Atlas. Thank y'all. So it's in between Fort Atlas and the train. If you're looking at the train station in Fort Atlas, it's right in the middle of it. But whatever that train station is, I can't remember the name of it. But it's you just go right down the tracks and you'll run into the Metal Dome. So thank y'all. Y'all are great. Let's see. Gulper Smacker. Yep. So there you go. Okay, there is the basic news. There's not much news this week, but that is good because we are going to talk Fallout lore, and I love it when we bring lore into the KingCast. The KingCast is mostly news, but I love it when we bring lore. So this week we're going to talk about Homer. Homer how do you pronounce it? I'm not even going to try. Saperstein, whatever his name is, but that his name is very important. I've not heard anybody. I'm gonna break something. Hopefully, don't anybody say it in the comments. But his name means something. His name is so important. Anyway, Homer. Who is he? What is he? Again, if you have not gone over to my Twitter page, y'all go take the poll now. I'm about to look and see what AI was winning just a minute ago, but I'm gonna go look right now and see what the poll is at right this minute. I asked who or what do you think Homer is? And AI is still winning right now. Artificial intelligence is at 40.5%. Synth is next at 32.4%. Alien is next. And that surprises me that Alien is in third place. That's wow. At 24.3%. And then human is all the way down there at 2.7. And I was surprised that nobody put, it might be even something else. So right now, AI is winning. And I know Rick is pulling his hair out because he don't think it's an AI at all. And I actually don't think it's AI either. Now, I will tell you this, that I thought he was an alien from the very start. I did. And on my live stream yesterday, when I had watched Rick's video, I recommended his video. I thought it was a great video, but I still didn't think he was a synth. But I'm as Keto Chef said, I'm sticking my toes over in that synth area. You know, I'm headed that way. But I found some new things today. Not saying they're definitive either way, But I'm going to give you some facts today. I want y'all to tell me what y'all have learned, if y'all have learned anything. And we'll try to get through this and see which one sounds like it's the best option for Homer. The first thing I want to ask y'all a few things to think about when you're thinking about Homer. Obviously, I don't think we think he's human. Human only got 2%. I think it was Oxhorn that said, if you have to tell people you're human, you're probably not human. So that's a pretty good thing. And by the way, Oxhorn don't say what it is. I was hoping he would tell what his opinion was, but he didn't. But this is a question that I've got. Before we answer who Homer is, I've got another question for you. Who is the emissary? Who is the guy in the black suit that you meet on the road? Now, I believe this is an important question that we answer because I think it's going to help us answer who Homer is, okay? Number one, Homer says he has an assistant. Is the guy in the black suit that you meet on the road that has the key card to the bunker that is Homer's, is that Homer's assistant? Now, that would be a big question to answer. If he is Homer's assistant, then we can assume that he and Homer are the same thing. Could we not? Come on, y'all, help me out. What do y'all think? Is the emissary Homer's assistant? Kane says no. Who says the emissary is Homer's assistant? Lady Braven says yes. I knew we would have yes and no's on this. Y'all put real quick, and we're gonna do this pretty quick. I promise I'm gonna get to Homer, but I've got a method to this. What do you think about the emissary first? Do you think he's Homer's assistant? Because one of the first thing Homer does is talks about his assistant. Cirque says he's the guy that imitates every other random male NPC in the game. And Alice is still talking about the Gulper Smacker. A new drink. I like that. I love it. Rick says he is his assistant. Very good. So we've got 2 yeses and a no. Okay. Whatever you may think about the emissary, get it in your mind whether you think he is or he's not, because the reason I say that, we actually learn a little bit about him. We actually have dialogue with the emissary, and that gives us some more evidence that we can put with this. Me being a former police officer, I like having evidence, and I like looking and I really got into this evidence today and looking at the evidence. You start talking to this guy on the road. Number one, he's everywhere, which is kind of weird, but let's just take that out of the equation for a minute. Let's just assume he zaps everywhere, okay? Let's just assume there's just one of him. I don't even want to go down the rabbit hole that there's a bunch of the same one. If so, he's got to be a synth. But anyway, we'll just take that off the page for a minute. Just say there's one that zaps all over the place. These are some of the things that he says. Number one, he calls you neighbor, which is very interesting. He calls you neighbor over and over and over and over and over. Now, why is that interesting? Because he also calls the Zatans, or however you pronounce that, he also calls the Zatans the neighbors to the north. Now, also the way this guy talks, and by the way, if you define the word emissary, it means one who is sent on a diplomatic mission. Well, where is he sent from? Is he sent somewhere on Earth, or is he sent somewhere off of Earth? Interesting. Y'all just be thinking about this. Here's some of the other things he says, and I've tried to get almost all of his dialogue. Again, he calls you neighbor over and over and over. He asks, what planet do we have to invade to get good pizza? He talks about the Andromeda galaxy, and when something happens in that galaxy, it's going to be a new age of humanity. I mean, he talks really strange. He talks about things going on in the sky. He talks about outer space all the time, obviously. but he talks not like a human talking about outer space. He talks about one that's in the know, very much in the know. He from Zaytons are from Canada. He kind of has an alien type conversation again. And again, calling the Zaytons neighbors, he also calls you a neighbor. What's another thing he says? Oh yeah, he says he has bosses. Now, if he is the Homer's assistant, then Homer has bosses. Okay. Well, if he's a synth, obviously they have bosses. Their bosses would be whom? The Institute, right? That would be easy. If he is an alien, well, that would be different bosses. So that could work either way. But we do know that they have bosses, which is really, really cool. Let's see. Anything else he says? Oh yeah, the emissary has a secretary named Carol. That's kind of weird too. Anything else that I found weird that he said? Okay, let's go to Homer. Y'all are gonna love this one. Let's see. Y'all make sure if y'all say anything. Rick says, I think the black suit is a human. You think the guy in the black suit is human, being the emissary? Jeremy says, maybe follow him. He might lead you to Homer's other bunker. By the way, Homer's other bunker, a lot of people I have talked to, I say a lot of people, the people I was on the live stream with last night and a few from the live stream, we felt that the other bunker might be the other alien bunker where you first got the alien rounds and the other stuff that is right there by it. Could be. I don't know. That's just a thought. Okay. Does anybody, I've got to give y'all this one because I'm excited about this one. Homer, and then the guy's last name is Saperstien. Has anybody thought of anything about this guy's name? Anything? This is not a real name, guys. Bethesda's giving you, Bethesda's trolling you with the name. What does his name sound like? Homer Saperstien. What does it sound like? Homer Saperstien. Homer Saperstien. Homo sap. Come on. Yes, Homo sapiens. And what is a Homo sapien? Homo sapien is a human, but if you go back to the Latin, it just means a wise man, a wise person. Kane, bless your heart. Kane says, oh boy, Kane's getting down nitty gritty here. He's going to get technical. I believe that Homer is a Zax AI, which, by the way, I'm going to check Twitter before we're done. It's leading by big time, 45%. Reason being, I went through all his dialogue, and he talks just like a Zax AI, very much like Modus and Zax from Vault 51. It's all in the details. Very good. And thank you for the super chat. So his name is Homo sapien. So he says, I'm a human, and his name is human. So obviously he's not human. He is not human. We know that he is. I mean, he is flat not human. His name says, I am the human species. But this is so cool. I think I'm going to ride the fence here, and when I give y'all my answer, y'all are going to go, "Oh, King, you can't give that answer." I'm going to give y'all my answer in a minute. I love that Homo sapien. That was so good. Did y'all know that about Homo sapien? Come on, give me a little credit there. That was so cool when I found that. That was so cool. Okay, let's break this down. When I started thinking about Rick's thought about it being a synth, and by the way, if you haven't watched Rick's video, that was the homework last night for the live stream. I implore you, after the live stream, go watch it. He did a fantastic job. What a great idea for a video, and what a great job he did on that. Very good job. Very good job making his points. So, Rick, let me see if I can hold on. I'm going to put a link down. If y'all aren't subscribed to Rick, I'm going to get y'all subscribed real quick. I like promoting other YouTubers. So, Rick, I'm going to promote you here, brother. And all right, there. Y'all go subscribe right now. Subscribe to him, and then y'all can watch his video after the podcast. There you go. Zonder Bunny, you haven't done homework since high school. And by the way, Kane also is a fantastic YouTuber too. Y'all please go subscribe to him as well. I definitely have to say that after you give me a super chat for 20. My money's down. I needed that super chat. But yes, y'all go check both those guys out. They're great. But when I first watched his video, I thought it was great, but I thought it can't be a synth. There's just too much time difference in between Fallout 3, which is where you first see synths, and Fallout 76. However, that's really not true. It's really not true when you break down the math. Fallout 76 starts in 2102. However, we know we're not in 2102 anymore. Thank you, David. Yeah, we can get his and Kane's subscription numbers way up today. Gentugo, are you on here? Never mind. I'll get it real quick. Kane. Whoops. Hold on, y'all. Give me just a second. Pardon me. I hate dead air. All right, there is Kane's link. So y'all go subscribe to both those guys. Let's get their sub count up. Let's get their sub count up by at least 50 subs today each. That'd be great. Okay. So Kane and Rick Games Now. Y'all go subscribe to those both of those. They're great. 2102 is when Fallout 76 starts. Okay. But we know that Wastelanders, and I don't know the exact date of Wastelanders. Y'all can probably tell me real quick, but I'm actually going to use the math of 2102. We know that it's been 20 or 30 or so years past. So we're actually further than that down the line. So just keep that in your mind that we're not at 2102 anymore. We're actually down the line from that. But let's just use that 2102, okay? We know that Fallout 3 happens 2277, okay? If you use that number, it's 175 years. 175 years. Well, that's quite a while. That's almost 200 years. And that's what I was thinking in the live stream. That's what I thought when I first watched the video. I thought 200 years. That's just too long. However, that is a Gen 3. We're talking about a Gen 1 synth, okay? We're not talking about the picture up there, because remember he says he's not comfortable showing himself. Well, why is he not comfortable showing himself? It may be because he does not have skin, okay? They did not start, and I'm talking about the Institute. The Institute did not start working on synthetic flesh until 2178. But that means that for decades before 2178, they already had synths. Well, let's just use 2178, okay? At 2178, we know that they had synths, and they've had them for decades. If you take 2178 and subtract 2102, now we're down to 76 years, which is a great number, by the way. 76 years. So now, and again, we're past 2102. So 70 years is a lot more doable than 170 years, right? And again, they had been making them for decades before that. So Gen 1 sense is a possibility if you're just going by time. Is it possible that he is a Gen 1 sense if we're talking about time? Yes, it is. I was wrong. There you go, Rick. I was wrong. It can be possible. No nudes. I don't know why that came out. Somebody's talking about nudes. No. Let's see. Vampire Sage says, wait, what a minute. Homer, not Homer Simpson. No, not a Homer Simpson. Okay. Did I ever work in the radio business? Might as well had, Rick. I'm a musician and I played on stage a lot. Plus, I'm a pastor and I'm behind a pulpit and a microphone a lot. So, yes, I'm behind a microphone a lot, and I have been behind a microphone a lot. So I cannot stand dead air. And I've noticed myself started saying again. I had kicked that habit a long time ago. Let's see. Kane says the Gen 1 sense did not get produced till 2170. If you look at the Fallout timeline, I want you to go look right now, Kane. I did a lot of research on this. I might be wrong, but I would really like your references. 2178 is when they started researching synthetic skin. And it says specifically in the wiki that they had been making them for decades at that point. And we're talking about scents in general. So just check me out on that. But that's still not going to affect my answer anyway. But check me out on why you're telling me no, please, before I go any further on the scent. Okay, another thing about scent that makes a scent a good possibility. He says my designation is Homer. Now that can sound very IA, artificial intelligence, but it also is something that scents say. In fact, they are their names are a designation. Okay, and this was something that Keto Chef told me to go look up as soon as I got off the live stream. If you just look up, and I forget exactly what he told me to look up, but it actually goes into scent designations. However, hey Gizmo, what's going on, buddy? Gizmo says he thinks it's a Zach AI too. So who's a scent? I was late. Queen is. She's so perfect. She's a scent. I know she's listening. She's a synthetic. She's perfect. I found it out. Now, the strange thing is, though, this, and I want you to tell me about this, Rick. All synthetics, all scents are designated by a 4-character. All their designations are 4 characters. If you look at all of them in Fallout 4, you look at them all in Fallout 3, they're all 4-character. Queen's calling. You just have to respond, don't you?
And you secret out to everybody.
Hey, you know what? I said something good. What? I said something good about you.
I know. I'm so impressed.
Yeah.
You do love me today.
I love you every day, my darling. You are the most gorgeous, the most wonderful, the most magnificent. I married up. Excuse me. You married down. I'm not worthy.
You want something, y'all.
Real quick, let me finish my thought, Queen. Homer, Homer, happens to be 5 characters, though. So, Rick, Homer's 5 characters. What's the deal? Okay, go, Queen.
I love you.
I love you, darling.
Have an awesome rest of your show.
Thank you, baby. Thank you for listening and watching.
Of course.
Bye,
Since
sweetie.
I can't comment, I had to call. So,
I know.
you know.
I know.
Y'all have fun.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Okay, quickly, as Rick is thinking about that, those that thinks it's the AI, Gizmo, I believe Kane, Kane thought it was AI. Now I'm going to ask you, who made the AI? And I can't remember, what did Kane say? Did he think the emissary was his assistant? I think he said no. But they counted wrong. It would have been, Rick, you would have had a home run if his name would have been 4 characters. Man, that would have put the evidence over the top with me. But that was just like, but I'm not out of the synth category yet. I'm not out of that yet. I'm about to tell you what I really think. And I'm gonna weirdly sit on the fence with all y'all. Y'all are gonna go, no, King, you can't do that, but I am. Okay, Kane, Gizmo, all y'all that are saying AI, I really want to know, if y'all thought about it, who you believe built the AI. Who's the one in charge? Is it the Enclave? Who is it? I mean, we've not found any evidence around Appalachia until now about this going on. Hey, True Flat, what's going on? We still need to trade hats, brother. I got to send you a KingFanMan hat, and I want that True Flat hat. This could be a way of introducing the synth storyline. Absolutely. I said on my live stream last night, I really hope they do more on this, because I know we're going to get this event one more time this year before the year's out. I hope we get more. I hope they go forward on the storyline a little bit more. I hope we learn more about it. I hope we learn more about the emissaries' bosses, because I do tend to believe, if you think about it, let's go back to that for a minute while y'all are thinking. Kane says, I think it is pre-war and part of the secret government agency. So enclave-ish. Okay. If you tie the emissary and Homer together, which you have a hard time not, because the emissary has the key card in his pocket. Okay. If he's not his assistant, then that means, are they enemies? What I don't know. But he has the key card to Homer's bunker in his pocket. It's strange that Homer don't ask you how you got the key card. I wish they would have done something there, but it's just, wow, Michael, that's not nice. I don't have a synagogue though. Anyway, y'all aren't seeing some of the messages that come through sometimes. It just really fits for the emissary and for Homer to be paired together, because I have a hard time him having that key card in. Now, one more thing that kind of goes with Rick's idea of the synth is, but I digress, and we'll tell you something else about it in a minute. How in Fallout 4, how did the synths move around in Fallout 4 from place to place? How did you get into the Institute? Do you remember? You remember there was a bright flash of light and you were transported into the Institute? Y'all remember that? What happens to the emissary when he talks to you? That bright flash of light, and he's gone, right? It's a very Fallout 4 looking transporter. However, now this is where I want y'all to hold on. This is where I'm going to turn y'all sideways. How do the aliens get from the ship to the ground? How do the aliens get from the ship to the ground? That same transporter mechanism. The same transporter mechanism, guys. Okay, here's my theory. It's way out there. I know. Okay. I believe the emissary and Homer are allies. I do believe the emissary is his assistant. I do believe they are alien in origin. However, this is where I'm sitting on the fence. I think Rick has convinced me enough, and even some of y'all have convinced me enough that Homer is some form of synth AI, but he is alien built synth AI. And you go, oh no, come on, why are you taking the Institute out? I want you to think the aliens are transporting using this transporter beam, okay? The emissary calls the Zetans their neighbors to the north. He's calling us neighbors. He knows all about the Zetans. This guy knows the Zetans' language. Homer knows the Zetans' language. He knows more about them than we do. Obviously, he knows more about them than anybody on Earth. The Enclave did have some contact with them. We know because we do see some bodies inside their facility. If you watch our live stream last night, we actually go into one of their bunkers. If you remember, during the Brotherhood of Steel quest line, they actually have a bunker where you can look through a door and see some of the alien bodies deep down in there. However, there's not anything really talked about the aliens with the Brotherhood of Steel or the Enclave. Now, would it not be neat if you jump to the future and the Institute actually gets their transportation technology, that if it's actually alien technology that they actually got from around the time of Fallout 76, you say, oh no, that's not possible. Listen, guys, Fallout 76 and Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 are so closely connected. I said this on the live stream. I'll say it again. The vault inspector for Vault 76 that came and inspected the vault when it was finished actually got abducted by Mothership Zeta. That happened in Fallout 3. He was actually zapped up in Fallout 3. Could it be that the Institute got some of their technology from the alien invasion that is happening right now before us? Wouldn't it be great if later on we learn this? Again, it looks so similar. Going back to Homer, okay, he states, I'm human. His name is Homo sapien. His name is wise human. That just reeks of an alien trying to make a human. Well, how would an alien make a human? Well, they would have to make him as a robot AI. Okay, so I'm gonna say y'all are both right with synth AI, but it's gonna be alien made, I believe. Now I know that is sitting on the fence, and I'm saying it's all three, but I do believe it's all three. So yes, I believe the emissary is an alien. I believe Homer's an alien, but he is artificial. So there you go. I do not believe he's Institute made. What do y'all think? Throwing it out there. Okay, let's see. Rick says he agrees with Cirque, or somebody said that. I need to go back and see what Cirque said. How far am I back? Let's see. Kane says, I think that Black Flash is more like the MIB movies. That's what I thought too. Kane. That he uses that device to make you free. That's what I really thought, that's what that was. However, if it's not that, then we fall into the loophole of this guy is everywhere into the wasteland. In other words, you're walking down the road, you run into him in a random encounter spot, he zaps you, you lose your memory, you run into him again, you fast travel, you run into him again, you run into him again, you run into him again. But it works if that is a transporter. In other words, there would have to be a lot of those guys, unless that's a transporter. I did think it was the device to make you forget because of the movie MIB. But I think it's him transporting out now, and it could be both. I don't know. Justin says he's a scout. Let's see. Cirque says Institute is alien tech. See, that's what I'm saying. Ghost says Uber, alien Uber. He's alien Uber. David says if you think about it, in Fallout 4, the relay was transmitting through a classical radio station. That was the signal. And there's a classical radio station in Fallout 76. Yes, that's what Rick was agreeing with the alien tech. I knew you were thinking that. The more I think about it, the more I love that idea. Oh, man, me and Rick agree. Hey, makes sense. What a twist. Sounds good. Alien AI. Yeah, so I'm actually going to put alien AI / synth because I do not know to what point he's finished. I do know by his conversation, he does not want people to see him. Now, that could be that he's a box, okay? He might be just a box that talks. Or he could be a robot that moves. He actually says, however, he says that he moved. Now, if you can believe him, he actually says that he moves from one bunker to another. If that's true, I guess he could have they could have transported the box from one to another. You know, again, I'm gonna put AI / synth. I think it's alien made. So what he looks like, who knows? But I would think in my mind that if aliens named him human, named him Homo sapien, and he's saying I'm human, that they probably wanted to make him look as human as possible. That's why I say he probably looks as much like a synth as we think of. Now, do I think he probably has skin and all that stuff? No, I probably don't think they have that kind of technology. What is why he's saying, no, I don't want to be seen right now. So that's just what I'm thinking. But I hope Bethesda lets us learn more so that all of us can know who's right here. Okay, let's see. Kane says, I don't think the Institute has anything to do with this. I agree. At this point in the timeline, they are limited to the Boston area. They simply were too busy with other things at this point. I agree. I mean, we are directly after the nuclear event. And we are still, as I said, we're still, over 100 years from them really getting into the synth as we know it, the synthetic skin and all that stuff. And that's when the Institute becomes the boogeyman. Because, see, the Institute does not become bad until they start kidnapping people. Well, they don't start kidnapping people until that date that I gave you, which was 2178. That's when they actually start kidnapping people from around Boston. They do it because they're trying to make skin, and they're actually using people as guinea pigs to try to make skin for their robots. Okay. True Flat says, if he doesn't want to be seen, then why is he everywhere? Okay, there's two different people, True Flat. The one you see out of the bunker is called the emissary. He is what I believe is the assistant to Homer. Homer says, I have an assistant. Now, we're not for sure that he's the assistant because it's not just said for sure, but they are not the same person. I mean, we don't think they're the same person at all. I don't think anybody believes they're the same person. So there's two different people here. The question is, are they together? Are they aligned? Are they, is the emissary the assistant to Homer? And it appears they are because he has the key card in his pocket. I think it was Oxhorn that pointed this out, and it's true. The guy, which is weird. This is another weird thing, which just shows you they're not normal. They're not normal. The emissary, no matter how much you shoot him, have y'all noticed this? You can get you a gun, get you a rolling pin, get you something that causes little damage, and start giving damage to the emissary. No matter how much damage you give him, he will never turn into your enemy. Now that is strange. He will just continue to not be your enemy until he's killed. So strange. So strange. I don't know of anything else in the wasteland that's like that. I mean, I know of other things that's not your enemy. I mean, you can come up on a raider, you can come up on a settler. You can be a part of Foundation and come up on a settler who is your friend. And if you hit them, they become your enemy. But this guy, no matter how many times you hit him, no matter how many times you shoot him, he does not become your enemy, which is really, really, really cool. Get the commie whacker from Camden Park and go whack on him a little bit. Let's see. Jeremy said he moves through wires because he's AI. There, that would be good. Dane says, is he a rival alien race that has sided with humanity against the Zetans? If I'm saying he's an alien, yes, that's what I would say. Again, he calls you a neighbor, just like he calls the Zetans a neighbor, which is, I mean, that was something that was really evidence to me that was like, that's kind of strange. If they are neighbors to the north and we are also his neighbor, that's kind of strange. So yeah, I would say and he talks about two different parts of the galaxy. He talks about the Andromeda galaxy, and then there's another part of the galaxy. Does anybody remember the other part of the galaxy he talks about? But then he talks about humanity like they are separate from him. He talks about when this event happens in the Andromeda galaxy, it's going to be a new age of humanity. It's, again, just strange, very strange. True Flat says when he hits 10%, he will fight. Oh, he did. He did start fighting at 10%. Interesting. Yes, Rick's video was really good. Let's see. So yes, that is my final answer. I believe he is a friendly alien AI / synth robot, whatever you want to call him. He is an alien-made artificial intelligence of some kind. Now, whether that artificial intelligence has arms and legs, I don't know. But I really hope, and I hope Bethesda takes markers from this, and I hope they can read the community. This event was so much better to me than the Mothman event. Y'all tell me what y'all think. I mean, the Mothman event was okay, but there's not much to this alien event, the event itself. But the fact that we're sitting here having a podcast on it, that people are doing videos on it, it changed the game. There's random encounters out there on it. That's content. That's what we want. And it doesn't take that much effort to do that. I would really like it if more than just Point Pleasant changed when the Mothman event comes. It'd be nice if something happened to the cultists throughout the world. If something, if there was something that you had to investigate. Same way with Meat Week, same way with the Treasure Hunter, same way with all of them. Write us something in. One little quest, make something. But yes, this was so much better. The random encounters have lore too, absolutely. Now, Ghost made a really good comment. I wish they would have done this. Don't know why they haven't. And if there is one, I haven't seen it yet. Why did they not make a random encounter with a Brahmin going up into a spaceship? I don't know if that would have been too hard graphics wise, but that would have been so neat to see. You're sitting there, the aliens are there just like normal, and all of a sudden a spaceship comes and the Brahmin goes up. That would have been so hilarious. That would have been wonderful. True Flat, you don't like the alien event? Again, I like it overall. The event itself is okay, but Gizmo says Mothman was overly convoluted, which is not what you're looking for and something you have to repeat for a couple of weeks. Amen. Definitely better than the Mothman, Justin says, but I think they could have added more waves or something, even goes quick steel. Speaking of the alien thing, yes. And again, they are sitting on something perfect with this alien thing. If this is just the first wave of the invasion, they need to write more of this in. They can write in a enclave event line or a quest line into this. This would fit perfectly into the enclave. And it could just be that we find some information, on an enclave computer somewhere. It does not have to be much that goes into the way of work, even, or graphics. It could be little bitty things. We all need to get a job at Bethesda, just giving them ideas, I think. Let's see. Random and other events makes it part of the game, not just another event. Amen. Yes. Rick says Fallout players love the lore almost more than the gameplay, hence the anticipation for the TV show. I agree 100%. Absolutely. In fact, we're to the end of the podcast, and we've talked mainly about one guy lore. So you see how much we like it. Cirque says there is an encounter with a note that says something about abductions. Yes, that is true. I want to see it, though. I want to see that cow floating in the air. Excuse me, Brahmin floating in the air. True Flat says it is too laggy. I've not really had the lag issues. I really haven't. Now, last week I was having disconnect issues, but Psycho says Mothman and Aliens about the same to me. I just wish Aliens was a single location. Really? Now I actually like the multiple location thing. I actually like that. For one thing, you don't get AFKers. You don't get people just sitting there. Also, it's very unique. In fact, I have yet to do Monongah. I have yet to do that place. It seems like it's always at the Capitol, Wavy Willards, or at the in the bog. I am yet to do Monongah. Let's see. I love speculating on what is yet to come. I do too. Okay, guys. We have covered Homer to death. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Please leave it down in the comments if y'all are watching this post live. I would love to know what y'all think about Homer and what we have said about it. Again, if you did not take the poll, it's only going to be a one-day poll, so y'all get over there to Twitter and vote whether you think it's AI, whether you think it is synth, or whether you think it's alien. If you agree with me, I guess you're voting alien, because that's kind of all the above. But Rick says I saw a Brahmin in the air once, but it was because I shot him. not alien related. Gizmo says great show. Take care, brother. By the way, Gizmo is going to be on the show soon. He's been having a lot going on. Y'all remember Gizmo in your prayers. He is over there very close to Ukraine. So I'm going to put him on the prayer list as well. I asked prayer for my mother and Shirley at the top of the show. I'm going to put Gizmo up there as well. He is actually helping out with people coming out of Ukraine. He's going to be on the KingCast today, but he's had a lot going on. But he will be on the show soon, and we're going to talk more Server 76 very soon, maybe even next week. So Gizmo, I'm really looking forward to having you on the show. Okay, got about 2 or 3 more minutes. I'm going to let the podcast go over just a little bit, because I always give y'all time to ask me anything you want that's not naughty. So here it is. Whatever y'all want to talk about, now you can talk about. Let's see. No, you're voting synth. Oh, me. By the way, Kane, again, thank you so much for that super chat in there. I have been down again because I've not been able to make much content with what's been going on in my life. When is your next Elvis video? That is a great question. I have one that is made, that is ready. It is being disputed right now, believe it or not. It's being copyright disputed, and I don't even want to make money on it, but they're saying I can't even show it. Elvis is so man, I mean, the clamp down about use of his image and stuff. But no, I have a video made. It's up on YouTube. It's ready to go, and it's been there for a couple of weeks. If y'all saw my first Elves video, y'all know what I'm talking about. If not, y'all go check it out. But I'm actually appealing just to allow me to show it as a reaction video. So hopefully, they had 30 days to respond, and they're going to take every bit of that 30 days, evidently. So if they won't let me show that one, then I don't know. Oh, yes, that was the other thing I was going to mention, Timmer. Thank you for bringing that up. There is a rumor out there. I mentioned it on the live stream yesterday, but I meant to bring it up today. Sorry for not, but Timmer saves me right here at the last. There is a rumor that Xbox and Bethesda is actually going to do their E3 showcase early. Meaning that we may get to see Starfield and the gameplay of Starfield in May instead of June. Now, this is one of those rumors, and I know Timmer's asking me what I think. I have no clue. I have not talked to any of my sources. I don't have the same sources that I had just a month ago. I'm going to have to once all the restrictions and everything get off, I'm going to have to go back to some more events and get some more sources. But I honestly don't know. It doesn't matter to me when we see it. I mean, it's still coming out in November, but the earlier we get to see it, the better. I'm ready to see it. But yes, we may get to see Starfield and get other stuff revealed to us in May. So y'all stay tuned to that. Thank you so much, Timmer, for bringing that up. Have you heard anything definite on it? I'm trying to think where that came from. I know, I haven't heard Skolzy reporting on it. I'm trying to think where that rumor started. I've heard the rumor from a couple of different sources, and I'll say this about where I'm hearing it from. I would not say it's one of those, yeah, it's going to happen sources. Okay, it's just a rumor. So where it's coming from, I don't know, but it's a maybe. We may get it. We may get it soon. So, bye, Vampire Sage. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Well, guys, thank y'all so much for watching the KingCast today. Y'all make my weekend bright. Again, y'all are the best subscribers on YouTube. I hope you enjoyed today. We had a little bit different podcast, but I enjoyed. We did a little bit of lore. If y'all haven't seen that video that I was talking about with Rick, I will put a link to it down in the description of this video, if that's okay with Rick. I'm sure he won't mind. And again, y'all go subscribe to Rick and Kane. Y'all get their subscriptions up. And I'm gonna also mention Timmer again. Timmer, type in what your Twitter handle is. What your username is on Twitter. If y'all want a great source for gaming information and y'all don't follow, boy, there's a there's a mispronunciation. If y'all don't follow Timmer on Twitter, y'all need to. I say it in every KingCast, but he is a great source for not just Bethesda gaming content, but all kinds of gaming content. Right there he is at BOGORAD 222. So y'all go find him on Twitter and subscribe to Rick Games Now and Kane. And Kane, I don't want to mispronounce your name. I always do. Valdir Gaming, right? Am I right? I did it right. Thank you, Matt. Y'all have a great rest of your Saturday. Have a great night. And if the Lord gives us tomorrow, have a blessed Sunday. Good night, everybody. Bye, y'all.